I know it's been a while, guys, but here I am, Graydon, LastPackMagik channel. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. We got a really cool one for you today. I think you're going to love it. We're going to talk about some 90s stuff, some really important cards that a lot of people overlook. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Cheers. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another wicked episode of the LPM channel. Today we're going over a really cool set that I really enjoy. It's called QFX. You've heard me talk about it before. I opened a box of it on Marvel Madness's channel. This is a really fun product from 1997. There are some items in this that a lot of people have overlooked over the years, so we're going to get into it today. I managed to find one of these crazy items, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. I want to hear what you think about these. Are these important? Are these cool? Are these total garbage? Let me know. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of this video. If you're a subscriber, I want to say a huge thank you. I know I've been a little bit slow on videos lately, but I've been real busy putting a lot of thought into new videos. So hope you enjoy this one. We're all collecting together. I hope you're all doing great. And thanks a lot for being part of the crew. Take care, guys. Enjoy this video. Let's have a look at the sale sheet. Notice that there's no mention of autographs, but there is mention of the New York City photography with Joe Quesada penciling over top of to create these images. When we look at these boxes, we don't see a whole lot of information, not even a character on the box. It's really interesting. They don't give a lot of details away. This is sort of why, like, this is a slept-on product. I know the Human Torch is there, but you don't get, like, a Wolverine or a Venom or a Spider-Man on these. And it's only a 71-card set with one checklist. These cards, they brick really easily. That's due to the gloss that's on them. The autographs do not have the gloss. They're just a straight up card, which makes this really interesting product. I wanted to show this heritage auction here just so you can see all sides of this and get an idea of some of the pack odds. I've bought a box of this. I believe I spent like 150 bucks. These prices have climbed a little bit, but you can find these around. They are floating around. It is a product that's worth opening, especially if you're doing the chase. The die cut inserts are really nice. There's only 4 of them, but they are a very interesting insert. They look really good on a display shelf. If you're looking for the checklist for this, it's readily available on some of the more common checklist sites. I'll include a link in the description if you're interested in tracking this down, but here we are having a look at it. It is said that there is an autograph for every base card, and I believe there were 35 of them done. So that is impossible to track because who knows how many are actually out there. But here are the inserts and some of the fun things that are in here. So here's the autograph portion. There's some details we've already confirmed, and I think it's worth noting and checking out the checklist. I love making a video where we get to talk about 90s sets because the base sets are a bit smaller than we're used to. There's lots of cool items in them. There's not a ton of inserts, so we're not used to this rainbow, or as lots of us like to call it, the painbow. But there are some really cool items in these, and we very rarely get autos. So today we're going to talk about some of these cool autos. We've got a fellow villain collector. Ryan, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Dude, thank you so much for being here to like chat about this. You're one of the friends I get to talk villain stuff with, and there's something about us villain collectors. We have like a bit of a bond.
For sure, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. And you and me are X-Men people, and like characters are very much involved in that circle. So it's really cool. We're talking to someone who's even the prices are comparable when we're going after things because of our character tiers.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Sabretooth and Juggernaut are very closely aligned as far as tiers go, personally. So
totally. Today we're talking about QFX, so a set that a lot of people know, a lot of people don't know. This is a 90s set, a fun box to open. I opened one on Marvel Madness's channel. What do you like about the QFX set and the Juggernaut card?
I think the layout and the design of what the cards were for the set was really unique. It was a lot different than anything else that we really got to see, as far as I'm thinking off the top of my head. I mean, as from what I can remember specifically. I think they were like photographs of like city,
New York City with the
yeah, New
Twin
York
Towers.
City. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. So like it's like actual photos. I think Joe Quesada may have taken, and then they inserted the characters into the cards or the images themselves.
Yeah,
In the city. So they're kind of like they look like almost like candid photos of the
yeah.
characters, even though the characters are animated and stuff in the images. So they're a pretty unique set, pretty niche.
Hmm.
Um, not really too many other things out there like it.
There's the 4 insert cards, which are the die cut cards, which are
Yeah.
super cool, really interesting cards. I love them. I love that there's only 4, and like once you get them, that's it. Like it's
Yep.
done.
Yep.
But there is a great chase in this, and a lot of character collectors don't know about these, and that is the QFX Joe Quesada auto.
Yeah. Those are, man, a very slept on insert. I think
Yeah.
like you said, a lot of people don't even know that they even exist. If I remember correctly too, I think Fausto had found a like an insert sheet that was like the only thing that even said that they even existed. Like
Right.
I don't think on the boxes themselves it has them listed as a part of the set or anything like that. It was like you only found out about them through like some weird way of finding out that they even existed.
Right. Interesting. I haven't checked the box. I want to say that the box does indicate that there's
Oh,
auto.
okay, does it?
Don't
Okay,
quote me on
okay,
that. Don't. I
okay.
wish I had my box in front of me. I don't. It's in storage. Um, I wanted to talk about the pack odds for pulling one of these autos. Can you pull that up? I know that you have it ready to go there.
Yeah, it's one autograph per 288 boxes.
Wow, which works out to there's 24 packs per box
Box
here.
for hobby
So
box, yeah.
12 boxes. I mean, to a degree, I think you could just call that a case.
Yeah, I mean, you may as well probably. I mean, no way to know now
Right.
what a case would have been in 1997, but yeah, that's probably pretty close. So
Yeah, so let's just call. We're just going to say what. So 1 in 12 boxes contained one of these autos. If anybody has different information about that and wants to drop a comment below, me and Ryan will definitely be monitoring the comments because this is a topic of interest for both of us and a lot of other people right now. I wanted to say that like the reason that we're like making that me and Ryan wanted to have this conversation isn't because this is like an insert that we want promoted and think that it's an incredibly valuable one. The reason that we're talking about it is because there appears to be none around. There's Comic-Con ones that Joe Quesada has signed, but the
yeah,
ones that are pack inserted, they don't seem to be. There's none on eBay. I have never seen one in a Facebook group, and all of the Facebook groups across Facebook, I have not seen one ever. I've
yeah.
never seen one as trade. I've never seen any of it. So we would like to bring some awareness to this insert, so that if you guys think you might have some sitting in a box, maybe you missed one. I don't know. The auto's really hard to see. Go check because we're really trying to figure out where all these things are. They were easy to miss.
Yeah, I think that set, there's a lot of things that specifically make those a tough insert to see nowadays as well.
Yeah.
The set itself, as you said, only has those die cut inserts. There's not really too much else to it besides the base. I don't think there's any other inserts at all besides just the base and those 4 die cuts, besides the autographs, that is.
Yeah.
And so, it's not really like a set that would generate mass appeal, I would say. I think that probably was a small hitter whenever it first came out, and then it's been kind of sitting in boxes pretty much ever since that point in time. Um, so I think it sort of correlates that we haven't really seen those as it not being like a top end set.
Mhm.
I would assume it's kind of like it was more of like a lower flagship product. Especially even for that time.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of these. I've seen an
Which
invisible. Go ahead. Yeah, I've seen an invisible woman. I've seen a Moon Knight.
yeah.
I've seen the one that you have. Just because you have it, the Sabretooth. There also was this really interesting one that me and Fausto debated on for a little while, and we're still kind of unsure as to what happened with. But there was an Electra on eBay that well, I should say this before. The cards, the base cards without the autograph are very glossy. They're kind of like glossed over.
Correct.
The autographs themselves are more matte. They're not as like shiny or polished as
They're completely
the
matte. So that's the
yes,
easiest way
okay.
to
Yeah,
authenticate
yeah,
them. Completely
yep.
matte.
And there was an Electro that was on eBay, and to me, the card looked like it was matte if I was comparing it. It had good HD images of it versus just a regular base card, but there was a Fleer embossed stamp on there, like the early Sketchograph
Oh,
cards had. And so me and Fausto were like kind of like questioning the legitimacy of that because that's the only one that either of us had seen that actually had that embossment on it. I
very
think I
strange.
still have a photo of that somewhere. I could try to find it at some point, but it was really
That's
weird
really
because, yeah, there was because whenever I first asked Fausto about, it, I was like, hey, is this like the way that you would guarantee that it's legit? you know, like because I didn't know that much
Right.
about it, you know, like because I hadn't seen one, right? Nobody's seen them, you know, so I was like, is this the way? And he was like, no, I don't even know if that one's real.
Well, we
Um,
do believe that one of those stamps is floating around at one point.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that might be a way of proving that it is not authentic. But
yeah.
I don't want to go on record of any of that because I don't know.
Yeah, so but yeah, so I mean, you know, in all the years I've collected, I've seen what is that, four maybe, you know,
Yeah.
super limited, you know, as far as exposure goes. There's probably tons still sitting in boxes because I don't think this is a product that a ton of people are that interested in
Right.
ripping. I mean, you're spending, you know, I think probably 200 minimum for a box, you know, in the hopes that you're getting a an autograph, and then if you do get it, what character is it going to be, you know, et cetera. So
Something really interesting about what you just said about how these cards have a really heavy glossing. QFX is an infamous, I mean, set for bricking.
okay,
But since the autos are matte, it wouldn't stick. So
interesting. Okay,
if you were opening packs and you were like, oh my gosh, this is totally bricked, there's still a chase there because the auto should slide. It should be the only pack then that just slides right out. Right out.
interesting. Okay, good to know. Yeah, that's great to know.
You know what I
I
mean?
yeah, yeah. The one box that I ripped, I got lucky then I guess because yeah, the Juggernaut card that I have that's in a 10 from that set was just literally pack opened up, had no issues with it bricking at all. So that's I must have got very lucky then for
Well, the
sure.
box that I opened did the same thing. It was perfect. Um,
Okay.
but they're a perfect candidate for ones to brick. There's lots of opening videos on YouTube of the horrid sound effects of bricked cards.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I could see it totally, totally.
for you, I'm assuming like you have such a complete collection. I'm assuming that the QFX is one of the very few missing holes that you have.
Yeah, I think the last count here that I did, the Masterpieces 1992 green PMG, and then this card I think are the only big kind of like ones that I think will be very challenging to get that
Yeah.
are remaining.
I'm
Everything
missing the
else,
green as well from that set. That's interesting. You and me are so
yeah,
similar in collecting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that you know not to make this video about that, but I mean the pull odds in that set are so bad that it will be a little while before we even see those. I think so.
Agreed. I totally agree. Um, I'm going to quickly show my auto because I have it right here. It is so hard to see this friggin' auto.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can see it right there. So I've told the story of how this card came up in this video. So it's going to be a story about that. So you guys, I hope that you understand how strange and bizarre it is to find these. This was found on a website in New Zealand for $20, and the only other items being sold on this guy's basically Facebook Marketplace, but New Zealand style, were golf clubs and shoes. This was the
Wow.
only Marvel item that was on there.
That's how you would find something like this. To be fair, like that's the only way that you would find it. Probably something weird like that.
You want to know how sharp and how long Fausto has been doing this? Fausto told me years ago that when I found it, it would be something stupid and it would be a $25-$30 card.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
no, I think it's going to be an eBay find and somebody's going to try to gouge me and I won't get it. And he's like, no, trust me. He was 100% right. Like, it's so
That's
crazy.
wild. Yeah,
Like, he
that's
called it
actually
years
wild.
before. Well, he was the first person I told when I found it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, because there's when you see one of these, no matter how good the photos are, you will not know it's real until you touch it because of that matte thing. And that's something I love about like a 90s card is that there's no way to fake that. There's no way you're getting the gloss off of a card. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
You could
yeah.
never, it would never happen. So it's just interesting that like you have that like kind of knowledge-based method of authenticating something because we're talking about the era without numbered cards.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's something that makes these even more interesting. And that's why I wanted you and I to talk about the pack odds here. When you're talking about something that's one per case, when I think of something that's one per case in the modern era, I think of platinum portraits.
Yeah, yeah.
Platinum
That's
portraits are a
that's a
great
good yeah.
example that aren't numbered. That you can get a platinum portrait for $150, but that's a
Yeah.
hit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Someone could have opened a lot of boxes to end up with those.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. When
Um,
you're sorry, keep going.
hold that one back up here. I just something else just flickered in my mind that I know about these. So if you guys look very closely at the autograph itself, Joe Quesada has a very unique signature, almost looks like a symbol, obviously there in the right side of the image there. But also something that you can use as a reference point for these to see if they're legit as well is he wrote 97 on these whenever he did them, which you can kind of see in the image. It's kind of hard to see just because his handwriting is so bad, but it's on the right side of the big gigantic looking Q.
Yeah.
Um, and the ones that you were to see, like that Graydon had referenced of being the ones that he did at cons and stuff like that, those will not have that 97 in there as well. So that's another added layer that you can use as a reference point if you see photos of one online and you're questioning the legitimacy of those. Supposedly those are, and I've kind of referenced that with ones that have popped up on eBay, and versus the ones that also I've seen that are supposedly legit and stuff. The ones that are legit have that 97 there, whereas the other ones that are like convention signatures, they did not have that as well.
Another telltale sign is the thin marker. All the Comic-Con ones I've seen are done with a larger pilot pen.
Okay.
Every pack pulled one I've seen was done with this thin style auto. You can imagine someone going through packs could very easily miss that.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's
easily.
Yeah, super easily. Yeah.
I would love to encourage people, if you have opened this and you have stacks of these cards sitting somewhere, do me and Ryan a favor. Just go flip through. Just entertain us. Go flip through and see if there might be one. I had to go back and recheck mine and watch the video again just to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Where are you searching for this card? Like, what has been your approach to looking for it?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like with the approach that I take to cards and stuff like that, whenever I saw, like what the odds were for this, and kind of like took the time to look through the set and see what it was about, I kind of set this card off to the side mentally as a kind of like something that I would circle back to, or just kind of casually keep my, because like I feel like this one's going to be like, I mean, it's going to be hard, and it's going to be some weird way that I'm going to come about finding it. And I think this is a card that will find you as opposed to you finding it, unless you just like want to literally just rip the boxes.
I love that, Ryan. That's such a great way of thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that this one's. Well, I think this will be even though. I mean, I have one of ones. I have all kinds of stuff. I just think that the combination of factors that play into this specific card will make it probably the most challenging for me to be able to get, given the time that's went by since the set was released. People aren't ripping the product, etc. Like whenever we have these new sets come out, you have people that are ripping the product up as soon as it comes out, and then you see a lot of the rare hits pop up quickly or whatever. And we're so far beyond that for this set that I think that it's either going to have to be some kind of like blind luck, or I'm going to have to actually start just ripping the boxes open and just hope that I start getting some autos to where I could potentially trade for the one that I need or something like that, if somebody does in fact have it.
Smart. I think that's a brilliant idea. Having one to trade is really a really good idea.
Yeah,
I believe this card found me in New Zealand.
Yeah,
because it was a New Zealand trading or selling website, I wasn't even allowed to bid on it. I wasn't even allowed to give an offer. So somebody in New Zealand was the one who reached out to me and showed me this card, and just was so friendly and so helpful in getting it to me. And wow, something I like to think about with these vintage inserts, I feel like these are harder to obtain because of the rarity that we see of them than the Sketchograph sketch cards that we see from these sets.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
I've seen a couple box openings of Creator's Gallery, and I've seen Sketchographs come out of boxes.
Yeah.
I've never seen an auto get pulled in these. And there's a million Sketchographs for sale on
exactly. Yeah, you see them so much more frequently. Yeah, for sure.
So I just feel like this is something that, one, is a little bit hidden, and two, pack odds wise is harder to hit, making it a very interesting piece for character collectors to go after.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, right? Because let's say we have like a green PMG, and that there's 10 of those, right? And we had EPAC and all that stuff. I mean, moving forward, we won't have that, or I mean, Topps isn't even going to have that. But like, I would be interested to know, like we say for PMGs, there's probably like really 7 that are going to be out there, given the fact that some will get locked down immediately to collection, some will sit in boxes, things like that. So let's say it's 7. Like, how many of these are actually like out in circulation per character? That's what's interesting, because I've only seen 4, and they weren't even the same character. They were all different characters. So it's like, these might even be, given the time length of how long it's been since the set came out, maybe there's like 5, 7. in circulation or something.
Currently, this to me is a one of one because
Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen one, I've never heard of them. And I did a video with Fausto where we were talking about the cards we didn't know existed. Like,
Yeah.
there was a while where I was probably you've had this thought too, where you thought that maybe these were like the Jim Lee ones, or maybe they only signed 5 of them as like a promo card in a way.
Yeah, could be.
And until I saw the Sabretooth one, and like you were saying, some characters that just wouldn't make sense to have as a promo card.
Yeah.
Until I saw those, I was like, okay, they did sign it. He did sign it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's not a lot of stuff we just don't ever see. You know what I mean? There's some things that you see it every once in a while, and like you're like, oh, like one of the ones that for me that's very similar to this is the X-Men Series 2 had the re-release of the Dynamic Forces, just the same way that they did for Jusko's 1992, where they had the the artists sign cards out of 5,000.
Right.
And since Juggernaut in that specific set in Series 2 you've seen it on my Instagram where there's several different parallels of that because they use Juggernaut as a promo card. One of those was they actually even used it as the card that Mark Pacella did the autograph for as well. So it's got further level to parallel for a vintage set. That it's that card has an out of 5,000, and I had only seen 3 of those. Of the out of 5,000s, and I finally recently got one. The 4th one I saw was the one where I finally got one, so I have that one now as well. But that one was one where it's like, I've only seen this so many times. Next time I see it, I have to pull the trigger on it because it's just such a limited thing. And like those I saw like 4 times over a long period of time of collecting, whereas I literally have never even seen this one. So it's just crazy.
It is so interesting when there's things that we just don't see. Ryan, I knew you're the person that I wanted to have this conversation with. Again, like I said, the way that we're collecting villains, you're kind of in it together. Like you were one of the people I got to share this acquisition with when I found this.
Yeah, I still can't believe you. I was just shocked whenever you sent that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's so fun to get to share with people that have that genuine appreciation for it.
Yeah.
And, I'm always rooting for you to find one or for that card to find you.
Yeah.
It's funny when you're collecting with friends and like, these are the things I'm looking for friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are the
for
things.
For sure.
Man, it's always fun to send those, that information back and forth when things do come up. I want to thank you for being part of this conversation. I knew you were the person that I wanted to have this chat with.
Happy to be a part of it, man.
Yeah, we're rooting for you to find one of these. Anyone out there, please check your stacks. I'm certain there's black hole collectors out there that have full sets of this who are collecting when this was probably $20 a box and we're opening it. I bet you there's something that has that. If you happen to inherit one of those, would you please let us know? We would love to know.
Yeah. I'll pay you more than $20 for it. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. All right, Ryan, thanks so much for being here. And everybody, we're going to continue this video with the QFX stuff. Thanks so much. As I mentioned in the video, this is a card that was found on a buy and sell website in New Zealand. It was found by a community member that I'm really grateful reached out. And this store had golf clubs and shoes and other items. This was the only Marvel card on the entire page, so really random. And I'll show a picture of the autograph we were talking about. Ryan had mentioned it has the 97 autograph there in thin pen, which is a really good way of also authenticating this as well as the gloss. But I wanted to show you guys this card and kind of the listing that it came from. It was a really cool find, and I'm really, really grateful for these cards that find their collections as opposed to having to be hunted down like crazy. If you've made it to this point in the video, I'm going to assume you're a subscriber, but if you're not, please smash that subscribe button. Please drop a comment down below if you're new to the channel. I want to know who you guys are. I want to get to know you, and I appreciate you being a part of it all. If you guys have questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram at LastPackMagikPC. You can follow along with my Sabretooth collection at SabretoothPC, and I will drop all those links in the comments below, or the description, I should say, and you guys can check it all out and be a part of this whole cool thing that we're doing. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate all of you.